Well, I almost don't know why I don't just rename this channel and make it solely about Jurassic Park stuff. So, here we have almost completing the rounds in terms of the Raptor team from the original first Jurassic World. A Dino Rivals Echo, and that's going alongside Delta and Blue, my girl, over here. I've checked the same target I got this Echo from. I checked around to see if there might have been a Charlie, and there wasn't, but there was a generic Velociraptor that seems to have given. It's a new color variant, kind of like some weird reddish lips, but it also looks like they reworked the head mold to probably give it a more Jurassic Park 3-ish kind of bunch of quills on the top. So, yeah, sorry guys, it's not Charlie, but just pretend it is, or I don't know. I think there was supposed to be another member of the Raptor pack in the original Jurassic, in the first Jurassic World, sorry. That got cut, but I could be wrong, or that might be something unrelated, I'm not sure. And since this is Raptor Pack, we also have a Lockwood... sorry. Lockwood Battle Owen. Yeah, it's not from the same film, but it's still Owen. And they still kind of used his outfit from Jurassic World for the sequel. I don't understand that. Maybe it was so they could have some consistency between the merchandise, just have him in the same outfit, but if you go back and watch the first Jurassic Park and The Lost World, Malcolm didn't wear the exact same outfit from movie to movie. There's some differences. In the first film, his outfit was a black button-up and slacks and boots, presumably for the weekend excursion of the park, as he called it. In The Lost World, it's a leather jacket and a t-shirt. Pants are probably, and shoes are probably the only thing that stayed the same, in addition to the 5 o'clock shadow he grew. I guess that's kind of what's missing in between the transitions between Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. Aside from character development, sure, the characters themselves, like their outward appearance didn't change after the couple of years that they were in between films. Unlike The Lost World and Jurassic Park, which is something I admire in movies. Consistency and development over time. And not just the characters, but also, details like that. So, a few things I want to say about these human figures. If you've seen my previous videos on unboxing action figures from like the 90s and maybe even no, I haven't done anything from the 80s. Even into the early 2000s, the thing about the cards is they were huge. Like, if you compared these to cards from the 90s, they would have been like maybe a lot bigger. Like maybe this big is how big the Cyclops Raptor came on. And I think in the intervening time, they've shrunken down for two reasons. One is because shelf space, because these don't just show up in just toy stores anymore. They show up in stores that sell a lot more merchandise, especially when it comes to the toy aisle. So they have to make as much room as possible since everything is just crammed on shelves. And possibly environmental reasons, because cardboard is biodegradable and recyclable, but yeah, they were using way too much back then when they made those oversized cards. Still, they use ordinary plastic on the bubbles, so it's not much of an improvement. And the cards for things like this are only slightly smaller than the cards for other figures, but I don't know. It's just one big cluster cuss that I just don't understand. So these do resemble the older Kenner figures somewhat in that they have a human, and heck, this one even comes with an Ankylosaurus hatchling, which is actually something Kenner did for even Hasbro for a while. Included small dinosaur figures to go with the human figures. That was a big thing back then. I think the only major difference is the accessories. The accessories are kind of basic. And of course, there's no, well, at least not in the human figures. The Echo actually does have a collector card. I don't know why they wouldn't make a Chris Pratt trading card and put it in there, but yeah, that's pretty much all it's missing. And you have a pretty decent replica of, say, the old Kenner figures. Another thing that kind of, I wouldn't say it irks me, but it is something that they really need to dial down on, is this is a battle damage variant, and if you look on the back of, yes, this one, and this one, there are This means that there's at least 4 versions of Owen available. You have the Lockwood Battle variant, you have an armored variant, which is honestly something even I think should have been left in the 90s. Armored variants of action figures. And there's even a trainer Owen. There's two Owens on the same figure. It could only be more ridiculous if this was the picture on an Owen figure. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Chris Pratt as much as anyone, especially in his roles as Owen and Star-Lord and Emmett from Lego Movie. But don't you think that's enough? Even Kenner back in the day, there were only 3 different versions of Dr. Grant. And Dr. Grant was pretty much the face of the first Jurassic Park in the way Malcolm was the face of the second. I can count only 3 different versions. One was a repaint done so they could get closer likeness to Sam Neill's face when they knew he was playing him, because the first wave was made before they knew just who was playing who. And the the other one, was a variant repaint that came out in Series 2, which was something everyone did. Kind of like, these Owens right here. But that was just one repaint. The Malcolms were surprisingly less. I think there were only 2. The standard Malcolm for the Lost World, the standard Malcolm that came in the card, and a variant that came with a glider pack action figure. That was it. And there were only like 2 versions of one other character, Eddie Carr, for Series 2. But Series 2 was admittedly cut short, possibly to make way for a Chaos Effect, which gave us another Malcolm, but that was completely redesigned. But that's a whole nother story. I'm going on a tangent. My point is, for the 3rd Jurassic World, or whatever new toys come out, I honestly hope that they don't overflood the market with too many Owen figures, or too many of one specific character. That's never a good idea. Even for characters that could theoretically have a lot of variants, like, say, all those Batman figures that, back in the 90s, there was, like, a glider version, an ice version, a jungle version. Yeah, that got annoying really quick, especially since it was so hard to catch just an ordinary Batman figure. The same could almost be said here. Like, we just need one, maybe a second, like this battle-damaged version of Owen. That would pretty much be it. But, other than that, let's take a look and complete the Raptor pack. And, well, as best as we can. Starting, of course, with the Raptors. Let's start with Echo over here, take one last look at the card. Also, another thing about these Raptors. Excuse me. They're not bad figures in and of themselves. It's just that they've been reusing the same... It's a little hard to show. The same sort of... It's supposed to... I don't know if it just doesn't work anymore, or it never worked at all, but if I'm not doing... It's basically supposed to be a pouncing gimmick. And they've reused this mold on a Savage Strike Blue, this Raptor, and another unnamed Raptor that was just a brown one that I have, but didn't want to get The only times they've appeared to done variants on the poses and given them to different is when it's the Dino Rivals series, as is the case with Echo and Delta. As we can... Well, couldn't undamage the bubble, but this is a relatively new figure, not much to it. I like to keep the older figures because, yeah, it's the older boxes, because it's definitely a lot harder to get a hold of those than it is these. I got these at Target relatively recently, so yeah, not really gonna miss them. Try to get the tape off the trading card without ripping it too much. I made a comparison last time I did a look at these cards, and like I said, they're pretty decent for what they are. But I just honestly wish there was some more text in them, like a bio. And here we have Echo, Delta, and Blue. Just missing Charlie. I think I've already run into something of a slight problem, since this doesn't seem to be balancing right. Oh, there we go. Yes, so the ordinary, the basic pounce pose used for almost all the Raptor figures, their go-to pose. And when they do a new pose, it's generally when it's some part of the line, like Dino Rivals, or... Actually, no, this is part of Dino Rivals, and they use the same. Well, at least they give something to differentiate. I haven't seen that... I've seen that Charlie. I don't know if it uses the same pounce gimmick. I just hope they posed it somewhat differently so that it at least gives all three members of Raptor Pack a unique. You could display them in like a unique way. Huh. I think I might keep this box since, well, all I had to do was snap them out. There is a card in here? Oh no, those are instructions. So, maybe I'll keep this one. Maybe I'll start keeping modern packages. Maybe not. So, like I said, this Raptor, much like all the other... Maybe I can get the... Yeah, it's not very good. Oh, and now it doesn't... What am I doing wrong with this thing? Well, we have not Charlie over here. Charlie was more of a green, like the most green member of the entire team. But I guess he couldn't. And over there, of course, the I-Rex. Yeah, I know why that thing's part Raptor. A thing I've noticed recently with the I-Rex figure, it's still a nice toy, but I can't seem to get it to pose right. It's either, as you can see, posing upright like this too high, or it seems to be going too low to the ground. And I think that is rooted in the fact that it's meant to bend over to gobble down other figures, but yeah, I think they might need to rework the spring legs. It's not bad, but they could be tighter so it doesn't look like it, or adjusted in a way so it doesn't look like it's constantly leaning too close to the ground. The I-Rex didn't constantly walk on all fours. It could lean on them, which foreshadowed its, I guess you could say, descendant or successor, the Indoraptor, which almost constantly walks on all fours. Only able to save pretty much one package. Here we have Owen, or most of the accessories. Plastic on the knife seems to already be warping, so I have to wonder how long this was kept in. Here's the shotgun. And the details are not all that bad, but not all that battle damaged either. There's some tears on here. Like, I know they obviously can't put blood detailing on him, but it could have been torn a little more. Maybe like some slashes across the back here. I mean, there kind of is, but I mean like exposing the shirt underneath. Yeah, the knife is... Or maybe it's not meant to be held. There's a peg here. Does it go somewhere? Oh, I see. Couldn't have put it on the hip, guys? Oh, well. I'm just saying, it could have... Can hold the gun pretty well. The arms don't... Well, they have some articulation, but they can't sort of hold it like a proper way a person would hold a gun. He's holding it one-handed, which isn't impossible, but it's just not as practical as it looks. But then again, this is an action figure, and it's not like it's a NECA figure. It's not meant to be accurate. It's meant to, well, be more action-oriented. And this is, I'm guessing, supposed to be like a stun prod. It looked like an oversized nightstick at first, but I presume that this goes here, and yeah, it can swivel out so it's not touching the gun too close. Pretty dynamic, ready to fight and or train with the Raptor Pack. Despite the scratches, it does kind of blend in well with the others, just minus the guns, and so it didn't carry one. And even then, it was a lever action rifle towards the end to hunt the I-Rex. And the ankless sword for the generic mercenary kind of feels like those... It doesn't feel like a Jurassic toy. This feels like those cheap dinosaur toys you could get in a tube. Like a tube full of miniature dinosaur toys. It's still well made. It doesn't feel cheap, but it's just... The hatchlings in the original series weren't that either. But then again, they were just an accessory for a figure that they went with. The hatchlings in the original Jurassic Park toys weren't articulated either. They're not that different. So we have the mercenary, who for some reason came with what looks like a pair of shears or hedge clippers. I'm guessing that it's meant to be like a clamp trap, but it kind of has that same problem that tracker that came with the Utah raptor. I don't see the practicality of this as a primary weapon against dinosaurs. Maybe as a secondary or against herbivores, as we see here. But yeah, if I was ever going up, I would not want to go up against raptors with this. Those guys are fast. You know, you can't really. I think the only time someone ever went up against a raptor with something that wasn't a gun and won was in Jurassic Park the game. And the continuity of that is soft canon, as they like to put it. But since this is one of the mercenaries who, or essentially a bad guy, I don't feel any qualms about doing this to him. I don't think he resembles anyone from the movie Fallen Kingdom either. There is a Ken Wheatley figure, and we don't really get a good look at the mercs in that film, but yeah. Probably should do this every time I review Jurassic World toys. And there we have it. Raptor Pack alongside an Indominus Rex feeding. I wonder. I don't know if you can see it very... Oh yeah. If I only knew how to properly make thumbnails. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.